Platoon leader. I'm a squad leader.
Listen, this
I've
is
been
a
brought off
personal.
the line up to here.
This is a personal defense weapon in the case of a boarding. That is why it's a shotgun.
The entire war room, my gun is just gonna be
Alright,
pointed like
we're
this because of an
live. I'm
emergency.
making the announcement now.
War room, my gun is just gonna be
Alright,
pointed like
we're
this because of an
live.
emergency.
I'm making the announcement now.
War room, my gun is just gonna be
Alright,
pointed like
we're
this because of an
live.
emergency.
And I have to actually like pay attention and say things for this one.
You have to listen to me talking. Let me know when we're good to start that.
Alrighty, it has been announced.
We're good to go then.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back. Lucaro is closer to being completely under our control. Our forces have pushed the CIS back to the edges of the AO, and the CIS are getting very desperate. Majority of their forces and strong points have been wiped out, if you look at the map, and the rebels have been forced to one last area for a final defense. We've successfully captured key individuals like the rebel leader, B1 commanders, minor rebel leaders, and the lead scientist at the research HQ. And thanks to Spirit, we now have intel on where Bragon Fenris was moved to. The intel stated 2 months ago, and it says that he was moved to one of the prisons in the region. However, when Wraith Platoon took the comm center and activated it, the command code Predator was sent out over comms. This seemed to be some sort of trigger word and flipped the switch in our allies. The Cobalt Company from the 442nd has turned on us. They opened fire on Wraith's forces and are now openly aggressive to all of us. They're currently assisting CIS in our assaults. So it's a good thing that the majority of their forces were wiped out when the other fobs fell. Well, the intel we could find at the comm center kind of referenced a project called Burning Orchid. This is a project with Bragon's name on it and has been transmitted over CIS encrypted channels since our arrival on the planet. We've heard references of it pretty frequently. This is probably why the garrison forces were nowhere to be seen when we first landed on the planet. But that is just a guess currently. Our current tasking is to still find Bragon Fenris, but Command also wants us to find all intel relating to Burning Orchid, find a way to reverse it or prevent it from ever happening again. Are there any questions about the sitrep? Okay, moving on. Current changes from last week, marked on map, is the casualties. Shadow had 5, Jade had 30, Griff had 55, and Spirit had 75.
Fuck me, Shadow had 5.
If, to be fair, Shadow, there were issues. But Dead, if you can you bring up a d20 and we can roll up?
Yep. Let me get to the correct tab. That ain't the right tab. Here it is. Alrighty.
You're going to be working out the numbers for this for me.
Oh my god.
So get your calculator and pen ready.
It's a 1.
Okay, so that's
Oh
really
my
very
God,
easy to
Dad.
calculate. So that means 70% of the casualties ended up dying. So 70% of 165 levy.
Of how much?
165.
115.
So 115 have ended up dying. I'm going to note that down now.
The bad rolls happen again.
It's the first one we've had in a while.
Except for the first campaign session.
Fuck. What was 115? I'm very bad at maths.
What was it? It was 175 total.
Mm-hmm. So unless I'm counting it
That's
wrong,
60.
60. Okay, I did count it wrong. Hang on, so that means 60 is recovered and be added next week. If I didn't talk about it already, but our current reserve pool is at 542. That'll be updated next time. Okay, moving on to that, we've got the enemy trip transfer movements. The CIS force is desperate and almost losing control of the entire region. They've sent a large strike force of airborne troops to retake the communication center. they wanted to wipe out any evidence that was left of burning orchids once it was transmitted. As the communication center was severely damaged, almost fully destroyed, the garrison force was caught off guard, and the forces were able to successfully retake it. They're currently in the process of wiping all evidence of the 442nd betrayal. I do also want to note for the stream that when we were doing this, the CIS rolled a 20. That's why they were so easily able to take that over again. Moving on is the spaceport. The CIS have basically collected all of their forces that they have available and sent an assault against the spaceport. In advance of this, they had used the defense cannon to blow up the munificent that had been boarded and taken over by Shade Platoon. They wanted to take control of it, but the defenders were putting up too much of a fight, so they ended up just asset denying it. With the debris from the ship falling down into the town, everybody in disarray, the forces were able to easily move into the spaceport and re-garrison it and effectively take over again. Moving on to the rebels. The rebels effectively were demoralized by the capture of the leader of the region. They scrambled all their forces to the last rebel camp and are trying to reorganize their leadership. One of the leaders that was left alive has tried to rally a final defense. However, he is not as charismatic as the other one, and his plans had basically failed. I'm going to mark it on the map, but he attempted to put defenses down in 3 of the regions near the rebel camp. I've marked one of them here. He failed to do one here at the checkpoint on the bridge. He managed to build defenses on this one and here. However, his guys didn't do a very good job, so the defense is already falling apart without us even having to go near them. So they're very bad entrenchments and defenses, but they'll give them a little bit of protection from the assault. And to finish off the trip movements, with the 442nd going hostile towards us, they've retaken Fob Emerald. It is currently under their control. They couldn't take Fob Cobalt because the garrison was wiped out, so that our garrison's still holding that. However, they did also try to assault the gravestone from their position. Their assault failed thanks to Wraith Platoon warning us of it, so they got stopped in their tracks very easily. They currently have some infantry placed up on these hills and are supported by an armor element, but their assault on the gravestone was a failure. They didn't get anything done from it. Any PTSs about the trip movements? Okay, that's what I like to hear. Moving on to the intelligence, like I said earlier, because Spirit took the research HQ, they found intel on Bragon Fenris. It is an outdated report, but the last known location of him was in one of these prisons in the region. Keep an eye out in the prisons for Bragon Fenris. But that is my spiel finished. It's up to you guys now to plan. I will remind you still have 2 ARF teams to use in your planning, but the rest is up to you now.
Alrighty. I'd probably say there's no fuck, what's it called? There's no ships currently at Spaceport, right? It's just they're occupying the defenses there again.
No, they just had the frigate, but the frigate was destroyed, so it is just the actual port itself.
Okay. I would say that Shadow Platoon can take the spaceport and Rebel Camp. It's the closest to for our armor element. It's kind of the easiest one for us.
As a quick note, just because this is the second time a Wraith side objective has been retaken, I would prefer if Wraith deployed somewhere else, just so that our guys don't have to do the same terrain again. I don't know whether Someone wants to take this comm center this time.
One of advisors, Livy Dongle, can either of you get the objective list? I just kind of want to reference it real quick.
Mm-hmm. Let me bring it up. I had it open, so I just need to tab out.
Thank you. I was gonna say, once I look over the objective list, I don't know how you'd feel about it, Wraith, but you could do the northeastern prison complex and defense cannon.
Yeah.
That's it brought up. What do you need reference?
I just wanted to check what the bonuses on each of them were. If you got the company version.
Yep. If you wanna, I can link it as well. But if you wanna read out what objective, I'll read it out.
I would probably say the defense cannon. I'm kind of curious about.
Yeah, interesting to see whether it be like a interior or like a platform or something.
So the defense cannon prevents reinforcements from coming in. Once you hold it, you get more reserves. It is essentially an orbital cannon.
Okay.
Yeah, Wraith not opposed to doing that. It'd be nice to change it up a little bit, since we've had to repeat ourselves twice now otherwise.
I mean, Spirit can redeploy to the rear, take Fob Emerald, and then move on to the communications center, kind of mop up in the back.
Just leaves shade.
Wraith is red.
I suppose
I'm
that's
just in the
just
middle of
leads
doing
the aquatic research bases for shade then.
Yeah, if you need a reminder of the colors of the things, it's written on the right.
Grand, so you want shade taking the... Ah, there you are. Grand job.
I'll just connect all the lines up to the acclimator. That is not my line. What the fuck? I keep choosing green, but it's blue. Am I colorblind?
You might be.
Okay, there you go. Swear to God, if that was you doing that bench.
I wish it was.
Okay, that was pretty quickly drawn up. Oh, there's still the one here.
I mean, I was waiting for a chance to ask about that. Are we including that in this week's objectives? Because I mean, Wraith can take it. It's closest to us. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, otherwise, we're effectively kind of just waiting for them to finish up.
Yeah.
When it comes to the ARF teams, do we want to try deploying them to both of the prison complexes to see if the, what's his face, Mr. HVT is there? And those are probably the most well-defended areas in the whole region.
Not a bad shout.
I was gonna say, I was thinking about having one recon a defense center, but if we want to put them both on the prison complexes to get most eyes, I'm not opposed. Or defense cannon, really.
You never know. We might get an indication of which platoon is going to be dealing with the HVT.
True.
Those two objectives are also the most sensitive as well, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
All right. One ARF team on each prison complex then.
Sounds about right.
You guys are very.
Well, I got dead if you roll another one.
Okay. Before you roll the dice, I'm gonna just look. Wait, what? I tabbed out. Why did it tab me back?
Badger, kiss the dice before he rolls.
So
With
for
tongue.
the record, I'm gonna be having it as a medium dice roll. So for success, it needs to be higher than an 8.
Oh, now you put pressure on him.
So if you
Alright.
want to roll for the western one first.
If you roll a
Alright.
1, I'll put some fucking pressure on you.
So it wasn't a 1.
Oh God.
It was a 2.
Was it?
It was a 2.
Which prison was that for?
That was for the western one.
Alright,
Alright,
so
so
we'll give about his half teams.
Oh, fuck.
your ARF team, like the first week, decided to fly in instead of doing anything else. They
I'm professional
thought
at this
the
page.
CIS wouldn't be ready for that again. However, they got shot out of the sky and they're very currently critical. They're not dead, but one of the ARF teams is injured and can't be used next week. If one of you want to note that down at the prison, just so it's for the record, I can take a picture of it.
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
Is someone writing that down, or do you want me to?
Someone
Okay.
got it.
For the right CIS prison complex, because it's on a separate island that only has, like, you have to fly or swim in, and it's protected by anti-air, it's going to be a hard roll. Let me just tab out to see what hard is.
B.
Higher than a 12.
Go on now,
Higher
Dad. This
than a
is Wraith's
12.
line.
Badger, do your thing. There you go.
Do we have any bonuses?
Currently for recon,
Fuck.
Are they proficient in stealth?
That's a fair point. It was an 11.
God
Oof.
damn it.
okay, so they
We
decided
failed so
to,
much this campaign.
yeah, they decided to take a boat in, try and be stealthy unlike the other team. However, the anti-air decided to just put their guns down and start shooting at the boats instead. They didn't expect that. However, they were inaccurate and they managed to get away safely. They didn't get it, however.
Sir, it's time for you to give me the dice.
I'm just saying, you have to really, like, those ARF teams are not being up to scratch this campaign.
I'm gonna be having a word with Mudkip, I swear to God.
Okay, that's the recon done. It's up to you guys now to decide when you want to go and how many reserves, if you want to sort out times first.
I feel we've been doing morning a lot.
Yeah,
This
let's do
campaign.
a late one. Like a lazy, sleep in, swanter down in the afternoon sort of job.
Alright.
Or let's make it a midnight moon party. Let's go.
Oh, you can have fun at midnight.
All platoons deploy sequentially starting from midnight every hour.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
11:56, 11:57.
If my op doesn't start down to the fucking minute. I mean, as for time, I have to consider if I would like my platoon to hate me or not, so we already did a night op.
It's midnight.
Yeah, Wraith has already paid its penance in the form of a night up too, so no thank you.
I don't
Shade
think
has done
Spirit's done a
two
night up yet.
ups.
No night ups for Shade. No night
We
ups.
did 2.
No more.
Just because I have a feeling that Widow will kill me in my sleep if I push for another night op, I'd say I'll do like a 3 o'clock deployment, like afternoon.
And listen, trying to extract some of those prisoners might be better under the cover of darkness. Just saying.
No, early morning. Shit.
Good thing he ain't going after any prisoners.
Did I miss Spirit Platoon's time? Did you pick one?
I think only I think only Dead's picked a time.
Everybody else has written one down.
Oh, have they? What do you think, Badger? What time do you want to get up?
Bit of a lie-in. Call it mid-afternoon, maybe just after lunch.
Wraith's already got 1 o'clock, so we're gonna do 11.
Nice brunch
Odd
engagement.
lunchtime.
Okay, just the reserves now. Just a reminder, you've got 300 between you.
How many has Shadow been taken? Like,
50 last week. I think it was 55 the week before. I can't remember the one before that. I know there wasn't one before that. But yeah,
Just
50
with
and 55.
Wraith having 3 objectives, it might be better
And
if we
in
give
an
them the
anti-air
5%.
zone.
Yeah, and the only and the only remaining anti-air zone. It might be best to give them the 5%.
I'm good to go for 50 again for Shadow.
Okay, down 50.
That'll jump out at once.
I feel like, I mean, for Spirit, were you there on Sunday, Badger?
No, I was otherwise engaged.
No. Then how many you were there? How many reserves did Spirit have on Sunday?
If I remember right, you had 90, right, Dongle?
Yeah, 90 each. 90,
90?
for Reef and 90 for Spirit.
Yeah, and Spirits off through that very dense urban area was rough.
Well, we're gonna be dealing with these are clones at Fob Emerald, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that means pretty good weapons. I think we can sell for like, I think 80 should be good. 80 or 90 again. Yeah, 80.
That's still a bit high.
Have you seen our casualties last week?
Yeah, that's because you're going through Urbia,
Two
basically.
gigantic urban areas.
No. We'll go for 60. 60 should be good.
Like 75 is like the quote unquote average, and I think that'd be perfectly fine for you guys if you wanted to take full 75.
Yeah. 75. 75, because at worst we'll only be... Because we're only dealing with 2 objectives, and one of them has already been taken once before.
Yeah, the comm center itself is quite isolated. Not a lot of reinforcements getting into there.
Yeah, and-
we should be able to secure that flank along there. It's
Fob-
the Fob Emerald. It's an entrenched position with other clones with immense firepower, immense weaponry, and they've got armor as well. So
Though they did fail to attack the gravestone, so they've probably taken casualties, so... We'll
From
be
Wraith
able to deal
Platoon's
with it.
experience at the comm center, it's not extremely heavily fortified. It just had quite a few side things around it, but the actual island itself was pretty easy to take.
yeah,
It's already been assaulted, so assuming that even though it's re-garrison, they probably haven't been able to rebuild entirely.
Which one's
So.
this? Sorry.
The
Comm
comm
center.
center.
Communication
Comm
center.
Yeah. For damages will carry over.
Yeah, so
So,
it's
yeah.
not going to be like a strong position for them.
that's an isolated like coiled out position. So the reinforcements there, we're not going to need much for that. It's an isolated, not very well defended position. The Fob Emerald, however, isn't. That's the
Yeah,
complete
your
antithesis
biggest
of that.
fight's going to be Emerald.
Yeah, I'd say 75 for you guys is perfectly fine.
Okay, that
Loose
leaves
carpet bomb it.
175 between Shade and Riff.
To be honest, Wraith should probably have a good chunk of it since they're dealing with all 3 of those objectives.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would say give them 100 and give Shade 75 or 70 even, and they can have the 105. As we
100
don't know.
175 split probably sounds fair.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We don't
Yeah.
know we don't know how badly the defense cannon's going to mess us up, so probably 100 is a bit safe bet. And also we have the least terrain advantage because we can't see what's there.
Yeah, they're all 3 floating, so.
Okay.
Oh,
I
the
think
prison
that's-
complex. Hold on a minute. Oh yeah, it
yeah,
would
it's
be.
in the bay, yeah. So we have no idea what the terrain is like for any of our objectives, so it's probably best to give us a bit more manpower.
Blame our team.
Useless.
Poltergeist really going downhill.
Okay, well, unless anybody has any other things to add to that, that is the Chapter 6 war room finished. I've taken screenshots, so you're free to end the stream.
Alrighty, thank you guys for coming out to War Room. I'm going to be ending it now.